Valley of the Kings is a second chance alive sanctuary. We have a lot of animals here. One of them, and has a very kind of unusual story, would be Obi. Obi was rescued from a drug dealer. The guy wasn't too intelligent. He had a cougar that he was keeping in his basement of the apartment complex that he lived in. So the cougar was guarding his inventory. The cougar makes a very unique sound. The cougar went ahead, was calling out. The tenants called the landlord, who called the police. When they arrived on site, they found the cougar, obviously. When they went to this guy's apartment complex, they found Obi, a little 6-week-old tiger cub. When he arrived here, he was transporting a regular cat taxi, like you'd see a regular, good-sized house cat being transported in. So he came here. Now, fast forward 12 years, Obi now weighs about 700 pounds. So, again, there's a lot of people out there that are utilizing these animals for different reasons, different purposes. A common thread within pretty much every story would be greed. They are viewed as an asset by the people that have them previously. They might be used, to be models, come get your picture taken with the tiger cub, etc. We also had a tiger that passed away a few years ago. His name was Zipper. Zipper was the original model used for the Exxon oil campaign called Put a Tiger in Your Tank. He also did some ad work for British Airways. So again, as long as the animal is viewed as an asset, they will continue to be kept when they get to the point of not really wanting to be value anymore. Then they're deposited, they're gotten rid of, they end up in the black market, kind of a scenario that's going on. Another prime example of an animal we have here would be Charlie. Charlie's a black leopard, and his previous owner was a Hollywood director that wanted to keep Charlie safe. So Charlie was defanged and declawed, so much so that he was used for photo shoots, photo opportunities, evidently for some Hollywood actors as well as for some models, etc. So when he had no longer served his purpose, then he was basically disposed of like yesterday's newspaper. So, the bottom line message and all that is that they're really exploited. That's the bottom line. They're being seen as an asset, somebody that can go and generate money for them. And Socrates over here, actually, he came from a roadside zoo. Again, he was one of the attractions that people brought in to go ahead and see what this guy had at the roadside zoo. So that would really be, if there's any kind of a common thread, it's about greed and exploitation for mankind. The animals here at Valley of the Kings have such a connection point. We've all heard the term, the web of life. They really live that and really express that as a prime example. We have one big cat here, Raj, that was rescued about 2 years ago. Actually, it'd be 3 years in October. He and then another young female lioness, Sheba, were rescued from it was from a place that had them. They had a couple of black bears, and the main focus was some exotic hoofstock. But Raj, it was about a 9-hour drive. So long story short, the rescuers from VOTK left, drove to go ahead and pick up Raj as well as Sheba. And then whenever we transport an animal, we get a special transport trailer that we use along, as well as an 8x12 rolling crate, like you'd see in the circus kind of a setting. So Raj and Sheba have been in the trailer, 9 or 10 hours, and in your imagination, envision darkness starting to set in behind us. So the trailer pulls into the parking lot, where the other volunteers that were here were very curious to see them for the first time. So we open up the back of the trailer, and then Raj starts to growl and starts to roar. He was obviously upset. He had no idea where he was at. Then all of a sudden, in the darkness behind us, we could hear all of the other lions and tigers starting to roar out, as if to say, "Welcome home. You're in a peaceful, safe place. We're glad you're here." And I get goosebumps when I tell the story. I was watching his body, and he took a big breath, exhale, and you could see him starting to settle in, because he had the reassurances not only from the human volunteers, because he was reading our intent as far as wanting to help, knowing that he was here in a safe place, but he also got the reassurance from the other big cats, lions, the tigers that live here at Valley of the Kings. So the way you can tell that they are happy and in a good place is just by their physical body, by their mannerisms. Are very playful. Each of the pens has got a variety of different toys within that. very oftentimes you will see, as I'm giving a tour, I'll see them, going ahead and moving around, a plastic ball like a soccer ball. I'll see them, grabbing a hold of one of the big balls that got inside the pen. So you can tell just by their body language and then by their playfulness that they have that they are they're happy in a very, very safe place. And for a lot of them, they sense it right away because, like we mentioned, a lot of them come from backgrounds that weren't so good. Again, where they've been exploited. Socrates actually came from the roadside zoo. He was lucky to have been fed every 2 or every 3 days. So they sense that energy that they're getting here. Again, both from the humans, that are here to take care of them, but also from the other animals that also call VOTK home. So they've got that energy in 2 different levels, and that's how we can really tell if that they're happy. Now we have volunteers that feed them every day, so they get fed every day, and they're looking to see if there's something that's kind of off kilter with their personality. They'll let Jill and Jim know that run the sanctuary, hey, so-and-so, what's he needing today, or they look like something was going on, just so if we need to step in and get them extra attention, we can do that right away. But that's, being able to read their body, read their energy, and sense what's going on. That's how we can really tell that we know that they're happy and they know that they're in a good, safe place. You lose yourself.